Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. I am currently on the test server, guys, and yes, we are going to have a look at the new fusion champion. We're gonna take Thor in for a spin, guys. We're gonna see if this champion is actually worth the effort. These are his base stats right here on the side. Actually, not too bad. 1553 attack, decent survivability, good speed, base stat crit rate, of course, 63 crit damage, etc. So overall, the champion doesn't look too bad. Now, I cannot tell you the multipliers at the moment because I don't really know exactly what they are. But all I can tell you is that he absolutely smacks. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, help with that YouTube algorithm. What I'm going to do for you guys today, I'm basically going to have two different builds. One, more of an average build that the majority of the players that are in the end game or close to the end game will be able to basically replicate on their accounts. And one will be the big boy build where we're going to see what Thor Feyhammer can actually do at the highest possible level, or more or less the highest possible level. Now, let me just quickly share his build with you guys. I do have a 5-star blessing, which of course is Nature's Wrath. Do not get Brimstone or any trash blessings on him, all right? Nature's Wrath is the way to go because you are bringing in debuffs, you're bringing in decreased speed, and you can bring in the stun as well, which will help you. Now, if by any chance you're gonna get fortunate enough by the gods from I don't know, from the Norse mythology, and you're gonna get a 6-star, you definitely want to go with Crushing Rand, okay? But Nature's Wrath is what I have on him. On this very first build, guys, which is the more average build, I will have a Savage and a Perception. Now, I have 5-star gear, not ascended gear. I don't have perfect substats and stats on all of them, okay? So this should be easily an accessible build for people that are getting close to the end game or are in the end game. These are the total stats right here. 42k HP, 6200 attack, 2.6k defense, 228 speed, full crit rate, 258 crit damage, and I have 300 accuracy. And that's just to kind of like help us in the content because he is bringing in debuffs, right? We want to make sure we have enough accuracy to stun. We have enough accuracy to land the decreased speed. Probably you guys are already very familiar with the skills, but this A1 has a chance to repeat the attack, which is actually pretty nice because he will decrease the turn meter by 10% too, and this will work on bosses, which is actually not bad. This skill right here is going to be crazy. Fulminous Ricochet on a 3-turn cooldown. The champion is fully booked, by the way. Attacks all enemies. After hitting the first enemy, will hit every other enemy in a random order. Following the initial hit, each hit will increase the damage inflicted by 25%, stacking up to 100%. Will ignore block damage and unkillable, of course, not on bosses. So if any of you guys think that Thor Feyhammer will be my answer to the Odin dungeon, yes, it will do a good job on the waves, but it won't really affect the boss. It will stun the waves, which is pretty nice too, but you do need to give him a lot of accuracy for that, so keep that in mind as well. And he will give you some damage, but getting 500 accuracy and good damage is not something that most of you guys will be able to do. So if you want to use him in there as a decreased speed and a stun champion, is definitely not a bad idea. This skill right here brings his own increased attack, his increased crit damage, again on a 3-turn cooldown. He will have a chance to permanently decrease the resistance of each enemy by 10%. So this kind of like puts me back to what I just said before, because for a second I actually forgot about it. This does not require accuracy, and if you're going to decrease the resistance of the targets by 50%, you will not need 500 accuracy anymore. Now, the main thing to keep in mind is that most likely you're not going to use this so many times, right? To actually drop the resistance by the end of the fight by 50%. But you will probably drop 10, 20, 30% of the target's resistance. So that means that you can build him with lower accuracy. But we're going to take him in the Odin dungeon as well, in the event dungeon, to try him out. And of course, he will have a chance to land a decreased speed. Now, the passive is very interesting because every time this champion deals damage, increases their thunder counter by 1, stacking up to 10. No, we do not have a counter, so we're going to have basically no idea when this will happen, unless we're counting it in our heads. Plarium definitely needs to add a small counter to appear in the exact same way like the thing on the Hydra heads, for example, with the decapitation, or the way the intercept buff appears on our champions. It just doesn't disappear whenever you take turns. You know, they need to do something for him. They need to do something for Rathalos, so people kind of like have an idea, you know. Once the Thunder counter reaches 10, attacks all enemies and places a stun debuff for 1 turn. After it will reset, but each Thunder stack increases this champion's damage by 3% up to 30%. You have attack aura for all battles. Masteries on him. We have offense, we have support, we have Helm Smasher as tier 6. We're definitely not going to change this. First, we're going to try him on stage 23. That's where I'm bringing all of the damage dealers, okay? We're going to use him with his aura because why not? And basically, we're going to have only Lydia for defense down and weakening here. So, very curious to find out what sort of damage we're going to get from here. So, we will open with his A3 because that skill will bring his own increased attack and increased crit damage. So, let's actually give it a go and see what exactly is happening. Pretty good damage. We even one-shot some of them. We've got 100 plus K, 200K. And the stats are not the usual stats that I'm bringing on champions that I'm testing here, okay? Because they have 8k attack, they have almost 300 crit damage, most of them. So one thing to keep in mind as well. Now, right here, we have 4 different enemies left alive. So right now, when we're using the A2, we basically stack the passive up to 9 stacks. And you saw that damage there? We got 500k, 500,000 damage with the A2 because it increases the damage. So even though he doesn't ignore any defense, guys, this damage is just absolutely crazy. And you're going to see it even better in Hydra. And you're going to see once we're going to change to the big boy build how much damage he deals in the Hydra, because he is going to be most probably a top 3 Hydra damage dealer in the entire game, excluding Tranda, which is busted, okay? I'm talking about Toshiro, you have Garel, you have a few other champions that are really, really powerful. I do think he's definitely going to, 1000% going to be in the top 5. So right now we're going to use the A1. We're going to get 1 hit. We activated the passive. Bang, we landed a beautiful stun on everyone. Not crazy damage from that skill at the moment, of course. But still, it's pretty nice to have that like an extra AoE. And I'm not really sure exactly how it's being calculated. Does it matter what skill we're using? If I'm using the A3 and deals more damage, will the passive deal more damage? If I'm using the A1 and deals less damage, will the passive deal less damage? You know, I'm not 100% sure exactly what we have there. But look at that damage, 200k plus with each one of the hits, guys. Yes, this is only stage 23, but this build is just an average build as well with 6k attack and 250 crit damage, you know. It's just a savage. It's not merciless. It's not savage plus cruel. He doesn't have 8k attack and 300 crit damage or 6-star crushing grand. So the damage is actually really good. Look at that hit, 258k on the boss without increased attack. So it's definitely a solid damage dealer. And honestly, just by looking at the kit without actually putting him in practice to see what the champion can do, everybody will get like disappointed. You know, will be, well, he doesn't ignore defense, no stone skin, he's not going to be part of the meta, it doesn't matter. But each one of the hits brings in like 300k plus damage on the boss. So that's a lot of damage. First, we're going to try him in the Hydra clan boss, guys. Then I'm going to change the build. I'm going to show you what he can do in that build. And we're going to do arena with that build because we are in Platinum Arena, right? But basically, we're going to go on hard difficulty. This is the team right here. Nothing fancy to basically make our damage go crazy. We do have, of course, ignore defense maxed on my Great Hall. And probably the attack and the crit damage. So that will increase a bit the stats. But let me just quickly show you what sort of damage we can get with Thor in Hydra clan boss. So let's put our provoke. Let's put our weaken as well in here. So we're going to start with this skill right here to apply decrease speed. And that will increase the damage from the passive. Beautiful. So we'll land the decrease speed. I haven't even paid attention to the damage, but we're going to check that in a little bit. We're not rushing to see that because we want to decapitate some heads. And we're going to be able to see that much better after. Plus, once we're using the A2, we're going to get an even better idea, you know. Okay, come on. Move a bit faster, guys. Move a bit faster. So that is Val the Destroyer with his A3 dropping in a 480k. Now Thor comes in with his A2 on non-decapitated heads, okay? Let's attack the Head of Suffering first. So we got up to 700k, and then the passive came in play here as well. So 700k with the 4th hit on the Hydra Clan boss. We got 500k. That is very good AoE damage, guys, okay? Because usually, none of the champions will deal such a high amount of damage on non-decapitated heads, okay? That's very, very good damage. Let's quickly decapitate all of these heads and see how it's going to feel then. So we already procced the passive. I haven't really paid attention to see what numbers we got from there, but that's fine. We're slowly going to get to that part again. And we're going to go in for a little while. I'm not going to use that skill just yet because I want to kill at least a couple of more heads before we're doing that. So let's use this again. You see, the A3 is not as powerful as the A2 on non-decapitated heads and probably even on decapitated heads. But once we're going to kill this head, we're going to apply defense down and weaken. And then we're going to use the A2 again, you know. That should definitely bring in a lot of damage, though. Hopefully, we're going to get it down in time. Val the Destroyer, I am counting on you. I don't think I have any hacks in this team, actually. Which kind of sucks. That's close. That's close. So, let's use the A1. Okay, beautiful. We got that extra chance to repeat. So, we dealt some additional damage. So, we should be able to go in again with Thor and the A2. We increase his crit damage too, which is very, very nice. Very helpful, because that will boost his damage. We're going to apply the weaken right now. And now we're going to go in with Thor, guys. So check this out. Look at the sides, because that's where the decapitated heads are. 1.7, 1.9 million. Right? And the passive came in play with 500,000 each hit on the decapitated heads with defense down and weaken. So this brings in so much freaking damage. If you're going to... Basically, the longer you go into the run, the more damage you're bringing, because that passive procs more often. And I feel like this will really put Thor at the very top. And that's mainly because of the A2, the A3, and everything on his kit. And even myself, I was like, okay, is this champion disappointing? Are we disappointed with this champion? He doesn't ignore defense. He doesn't really seem to be that insane. So I wasn't really sure what to say about him, but I mentioned I do need to try him out first to see the multipliers, to see the damage. The A1 hits for like 500,000, and that's without repeating it. If the 20% chance procs to repeat the attack, he's basically going to bring in 2 million damage from the basic skill as well. Then millions of damage on each head with the A2. Then most probably on decapitated heads with the A3, we're going to hit for a 1+ million as well. So that's going to be a lot of freaking damage from Thor, guys. Okay, guys, so we're going to stop it here. Let's see what damage we're getting out of Thor with the build that we have in the current team, right? Nothing crazy to boost his damage. And what I like the most is what you're seeing on the screen right here. Thor with the average build dealt 42.4 million damage, okay? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Val the Destroyer, +1 empowerment, 6-star, crushing rand on a nasty build, 37 million damage. So Thor, on an average build, out damages a Val on a strong build with a 6-star crushing rand. That's all I'm saying, okay? And from here on, you make your own opinion. Because I really think that Thor is... much, much better than everyone expected him to be. So let me just quickly show you the build on Val the Destroyer, for example, because I know some of you guys might be like, Skratch, maybe he's not that good. Not only that, but he has a 4-piece Merciless as well. So this is the build on Val the Destroyer. 8,000 attack, almost 2,000 more attack than Thor. 1.8 thousand more attack. Crit damage is pretty much the same, but we have a 6-star crushing rand, which makes a massive difference on any damage dealers. You guys know that. I don't have to tell you that. Master is on him, so you guys are not telling me that I'm faking Thor in here and making him look better. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm going to change the average build, and I'm going to go to a big boy build, right? So we're going to go right here, bring in the the big guns, get the 8,000 attack, get the high crit damage, get all of the crazy, crazy things. And let's see how we're gonna perform now on Nightmare, okay? So this build, much better, much nastier, but this will show people that understand how the game works exactly what the champion can do at the highest possible level. So 8,285 attack, 352 crit damage, okay? So much better build. With a 6-star crushing run, guys, this champion is just going to be out of this world, okay? We're going to keep the same masteries. We don't really care about changing any of that. And we're not going to start with Hydra. In fact, we're going to go to the dungeons. We're going to go straight to stage 10 on hard mode, guys. And let's check it out, what he can do in here. So we're going to open with the A2 again, as we've previously done with the other build. And we're going to go again on the Lizard with the A2. 836k, the highest number I've seen on Venus, guys. Maybe you notice something even higher than that. That's almost 1 million hit. No Battle Khazar, no Feral, no Gurftech, and all of that freaking nonsense on these waves. And he still absolutely demolishes the opponents. So the damage, even without that ignore defense, is just crazy, okay? Let me just show you once we're going to get to the other wave. So what we're going to do right here, we're going to basically slap them with the A1, put that one to sleep. And right here, we're going to have the A3 available. No defense down or weaken from Lydia, which is fine. So right now, we're going to go A3, increase the crit damage, and we're going to proc the passive too. So let's see the numbers. 130 plus K. It almost seems like the passive mimics the damage from the A3. Of course, we had no defense down, no weaken. We cannot expect to one-shot them without that. Nobody really does it, okay? But either way, we got them under 50% HP, except one of the enemies. So very, very good damage from the A3 as well. Of course, the A2 is what really brings in the big numbers. Let me just quickly show you what he can do in Arena. Odin is here, but we don't have to worry about it because we're going to be able to ignore his passive, right? We're going to be able to ignore that block damage. So I'm going to take him in as he is right now. I kind of like want to give him increased attack, so I'm going to go in with Arbiter. I'm going to go in with Arbiter and see if we're faster, if we're not, if we're going to die. We don't have him in Stone Skin or anything like that. We are faster, which is good. So we can lock their skills, except that Ancora, which we should be able to basically... Let's give them a bit of control, right? We want to see the damage. That's basically what matters. So right here, Thor in all his glory. We're going to go in with the A2, starting from Armans. 245k on Narcissus. You don't need the defense down. And seems like we don't need the ignore defense or the ignore Stone Skin because he's still going to freaking smack them, you know? Which is definitely pretty nice. Now, if we are going to try a much tankier team, and this one right here is a good example. We have El Piero. He does have a Pythian. We have a Taras in there. UDK, of course, we're going to be weak affinity versus Pythian. We're going to be weak affinity, but it still doesn't really matter that much. Mainly, we just want to see kind of like what numbers we're kicking in, you know? So let's try to get some of their Thermiter. I don't have Nacret in the team to basically keep him alive, so if any of their nuker takes a turn, they're basically going to smack him. So right now, I want to go with the A3 instead. So we're going to get that increased crit damage. We hit reaction pretty much on every single one of them. We land decreased speed, which is helpful. Let's speed it up a little bit. Okay. Let's do that. And can they take a turn as well before he does another move? Come on, Duchess. There we go. So no more reaction on Duchess. That Taras most probably still has reaction. So we're going to go in with the A2 and we're going to start from Pythian. Oh, Taras! What happened with his passive? I don't think it exists anymore because he absolutely demolished them. No defense down, no weaken, no ignore defense in his kit. And yes, this is shocking me a bit because I was really not expecting him to be as effective, you know? Now, I'm not going to try and sell him as the most OP arena nuker or anything like that. He's going to be nice and stuff. There's still probably 15, or maybe not 15, but at least 10 arena nukers that are better than him. But overall, he's a very strong damage dealer. And was just not expected, just initially looking at his kit, you know. If we're gonna go over this team, we have Marichka, we have Rotos. Of course, we're gonna proc the passive on Rotos, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And they have a Thor as well. They have a Thor as well in there. Weak hits, of course. Beautiful, beautiful. Exactly what we needed. Armans, come on, get some of that job done. We gotta take that Sifi down, though. And I want to polymorph Rotos just so he doesn't gain extra turns or anything crazy like that. So right here, we're going to go over to, of course, Thor and then to the rest. A2. 250k on Marichka, guys. Very, very good damage, honestly. Is really good damage. I'm not even messing with you right here. It's very hard to really kind of like understand how effective he is in PvP on the test server. The teams, most of them, they really kind of like suck in terms of what champions they are using. They're really far off from the meta. They have basically no connection whatsoever with the meta, so it's hard to kind of like really show you what he could do. But once I'm gonna get him on my account, I will do live arena and I will do all this stuff to basically see how effective he is in there. But for the moment, I'm still telling you guys, if you care about good damage dealers, you gotta get Thor. If you don't do it. You know, up to you. Up to you, of course. And let's go again with the A2. What I do like about him is that A1 as well, which will have basically a chance to repeat the attack, increasing the stacks on the passive faster. I was looking for Farb stuff, and we got him. So we have Farb stuff right here. We have Jacob. They both have very tanky teams. I want to try Farb stuff. We do have Candrophone in there, which hopefully is not going to clap us too bad. That's fine. It will have a lot of reaction. I know this team pretty well because usually I'm fighting it all the time because there aren't many other teams that are better than this one. Okay, Damitrala will cleanse, which is fine. So I'm going to try to polymorph, but probably I won't have enough. I'm going to go with the A3. I'm going to go with the A3, so like this I'm going to increase the damage for the passive, and I'm going to get increased crit damage. So we almost one-shot that big mama right there. I've seen a lot of reaction proccing on Duchess and of course on Mitrala, but let's allow her to do her own things. And we're gonna go in with 8. You see reaction again. Okay. Have we locked her? Maybe we locked her and I haven't noticed. Duchess, come on, take your turn. Beautiful. So now we're gonna go A2, guys, and we're going to start from Ursaga. We're going to start from Ursaga because she is probably the squishiest, so we're gonna take her down anyway. Look at that. Beautiful. 300k damage on this team. Definitely very, very solid. We're going to run this team for the Nightmare difficulty. I do have Feral, which of course will boost a bit of damage. We have Lydia, we have Krisk, we have Mikage. And again, I do want to bring in Val the Destroyer. And you're going to see some crazy, crazy things in here, okay? I will manual a little bit, then I'm going to let it go on auto. So let's start with the debuffs on. Unfortunately, we did not land the block buffs on the Head of Decay, which is a bit of an issue. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to rotate before. So let's provoke. Let's do that. Bring in some damage. With Thor, we're gonna go with the decreased speed AoE. Beautiful. Get the increased crit damage. I actually haven't paid attention to see how much damage we got from that skill. We're not gonna be able to land the block buffs on the Head of Decay right now, which is a bit unfortunate. So we're not going to be able to take that head down quick. We're going to go for the rest. Let's go for the Head of Rat first. So let's see that A2. Let's see that A2 now on non-decapitated heads on Nightmare difficulty, right? 1 million. 1 million. The passive comes in play, 200 plus K, which will bring you 1 million damage from all of the 4 heads if you add it up like that. But we got 600k, 700k, 1 million damage. So crazy good damage. Crazy good damage from that skill on non-decapitated heads, guys. That's so important. You guys, a lot of you might not even understand what a big difference it is to have a decapitated head and a non-decapitated head and to get such crazy damage, you know? Not many champions in the game will be able to throw in such big numbers. Barely any, actually. Barely any. So what we're gonna do right here, guys, he's gonna get a cleanse. I don't think I have the... I don't have the provoke. I'm definitely gonna try to kill the head of red before if I am able to. So the A1, 387k, 287k. Let's put in some more pressure right there. Land some debuffs. Pretty good damage. And we wanna get ready for the party. Let's decapitate these heads, man. Let's decapitate the heads because that's when the real party begins, you know? When we can actually use the A2 on decapitated heads. So the A3, 1 million almost. The passive, 790k on the decapitated head. That was 1.6 million with the A3 and the passive together on the decapitated head. I haven't really paid attention to the non-decapitated ones, but we're gonna do more of this slowly into the run. Val the Destroyer hits very hard as well with his skills, with a basic skill, with the A3, with the A2, especially once he's gonna start going super ham, you know. But he's just not gonna be at this level. So check this out. From here on, it's gonna be a bit random, but that's fine. 3.1 million on a decapitated head. 3.1. And we only had one decapitated head. Just see when we're gonna have all of them. Just watch when we're gonna have all of them decapitated. Pardon my French, okay? Because it will be so much better. So much better. So I'm gonna try to see if we can keep as many as possible decapitated. Turn 11, 32 million damage. We're not doing too bad. Okay, so we got one new head in here. Let's try to get this one down. 175, 195k. Not the craziest damage from there, to be honest. Let's apply some weaken. Let's put some defense down right here. Gotta increase speed, increase the duration of buffs, and we should be ready to rumble with that A2 pretty soon. Let's use the A3. 1.4 million, 1.1. The passive just dropped in 1.6, 1.1. So do the math, guys. Using an AoE skill plus another AoE from the passive, which will bring you almost like 10 freaking million damage, you know, when all of the heads are decapitated. Crazy good damage. Crazy good damage. So I'm not just trying to sell the champion. It's actually good, okay? And I'm actually excited to get the champion. I'm actually excited. I know a lot of people that are Krakens and whales don't really care about Hydra if they have 2-3 Trandas and stuff, but I still care about it. So we're gonna attack the Head of Suffering first because it doesn't have defense down, and let's check the damage on the decapitated heads. 3.4 million on each one of them, guys. I mean, what else you want? What else you want? Val the Destroyer going in with 2.6 on one of them, not on all of them, okay? We're gonna let it go on auto for a few more minutes, and we're gonna cross the line after and see what numbers we're getting from him on a big boy build. Here we are, guys. I let it go for 7 minutes. We have 109 million damage. Thor with 45.6 million damage. Val the Destroyer with 32 with the 6-star crushing grand. So it's a massive difference, okay? Thor is 100% a must-have damage dealer, at least for the Hydra Clan boss. Maybe he's not a must-have for PvP, but for this content, definitely very solid, you know? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As I mentioned, top damage dealer, okay? You don't want to miss it if you care about Hydra, if you want to have a better damage dealer for your account. Definitely a solid fusion. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.